Welcome back, this is Jay, and in this video we'll go over some tips and tutorials on observational drawing. The tips and guides are based on what works for me, and some of the tips only apply to digital drawing as opposed to traditional medium, and the process of drawing in this video is not the best way to draw, it's just my personal preference. Drawing, like any other skills, decays over time if you don't practice. Best way to maintain and get better at observational drawing is to practice fundamentals on a regular basis. With anatomy studies, I'm not trying to make photorealistic recreations. The purpose of this practice is to get better at mentally visualizing objects in three-dimensional forms and to better understand things like value, light, and shadow. For this tutorial, I'll be studying the human skull. It's always good to start with some warm-ups. For studies and sketches on digital medium, I like to start on mid-tone background with slightly lighter or darker value. Sketching this way helps me to keep the drawing loose and makes it easier for me to adjust, correct, and make any changes when I want to. When I use a black on white, mentally for some reason, it makes the drawing feel more fixed and harder for me to change and improve. Observational drawing oftentimes can feel overwhelming, depending on the object, and I think that's because you're dealing with a lot of details and how they interact with each other, like lines, shapes, forms, values, light, shadow, texture, etc. I approach observational drawing from simple to complex. I simplify the object as much as I can. You can do this by squinting your eyes, but with enough practices, eventually you'll be able to mentally ignore the details. Eliminating the details will make it easier for you to get accurate proportion and composition of the initial shape. This will be the foundation and guidelines that helps you to place the next layer of details. Every time I add an additional layer of details, I'm consistently measuring and checking the sizes of various shapes against each other and spaces between them to make sure that they're somewhat in the right place. Once I have the shapes in place, I go on to working on the value, and it's the same concept. I go from simple to complex. In terms of value, simple meaning a smaller range of values or fewer number of values. Here, I'm blending the values I have so far. I'm not expanding the range of values, but this increases the number of values so that the transition between values are smoother, and this makes the illustration look more polished. Rest of the video is the repetition of the same process, going from simple to complex, using the previous layer of detail as the guideline for the next layer of details. I do want to stress that this method works for me for this particular type of drawing studies, but I think drawing should be fun. I think it's important that we enjoy the process as much as the results. So I do want to encourage everyone to experiment and explore different techniques and find the type of art that you enjoy doing. That's going to be for this video. Thanks for watching. If there's any tips I forgot to mention, or if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section and I'll try to respond to them in the future videos. If you find this video helpful, consider supporting my channel by liking and subscribing, and I'll be back with more tutorial videos. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.